Hey guys, week two of Rebut Rebut Ramadan has ended yesterday, and we have again a lot of lessons to be learned and a lot more wins to celebrate lah. All right, so right off the bat, I'm gonna go a little bit unhinged here and just go and wing it through because that's the best way I can do things. So first one will be resource mapping. So resource mapping actually covers because of some of the vendors' feedback as well as some of the observations that we have as organizers here. Second thing we're going to go over are actually the what is it called? The vendor support that we have for our vendors in order to make sure that they're comfortable here. That's one thing. And pretty much making sure that all their needs and wants are attended to in order to really make this space a success for their pop-ups. And the third thing that we are actually going to dive into is actually the layout changes as well as maybe some administrative changes. We'll see how based on the discussion that I'll be bringing forward to. Okay, so I will say that the first point, which is resource mapping, it is something that we realize the importance of. However, due to 1 week to launch, it's quite packed, and we didn't really plan things through properly as much as we should have. So the main point, or rather the main problem that we actually have are actually the high chairs. Guys can see over there, those high chairs right there. Because initially prior to this, this was a co-working space. So we have two high tables with 15 high chairs. Right. So this table that we're on right now is also a high table, and it's enormous. It was kind of a regret buying it. However, we are planning to sell it off actually. So we're going to sell off 12 to 13 of the high chairs as well as these two high tables. So that's the first one. This problem started, or rather, this observation started because some of our vendors, or rather, actually, a lot of the vendors prefer sitting on the lower chairs. So they were sort of competing with it. And we have Lina from Lina Wellness, who is, slightly older, and she really needed a lower chair. And actually, some of the vendors, they really just can't sit on the high chairs. And we realized that, okay, that was an oversight on us. And it is great that we learned it from week two onwards. We sort of observed it in week one, but in week two, I think that concretized every single thing. So when it comes to resource mapping, initially with 1 week left to launch, we just said like, okay, we have to really make use of whatever we can and get things going because we only have 1 week left. So we have to make use with the high chairs. We have to make use of the four lower chairs that we have here. And moving forward, then we will see and amend things based on whatever is important for the vendors. So right now, with logistics aside, we understand that, these high chairs are not suitable for the vendors, and it will be best to sell them off. Now, the real question would be like, what comes after selling it off? Like, okay, we got to sell it off, and what's next? We have to purchase the lower chairs, and how many amounts of it. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing would be what kind of lower chairs would they prefer? So those are certain options. However, we have two types of lower chairs over here. Both of them are foldable, by the way. So we got two models. One of it is the lower one over there. Another one is over there, but it's a lot more lean back. What we feel like, okay, something a lot more comfortable would be slightly on the upright position kind of thing. So we really have to find ones that really tends to that and is backed up for that as well. So with that, we will start our search for lower chairs, right? Then the next question would be the high tables, because we have one over here at this one corner over here, and we got another one right outside the unit because that one's taking up too much space, so I have to really move it out. So the real question would be like, what will replace the table? So the ones outside will be gone, right? What about the ones inside here? So I'm still thinking a bit on what we could use this space for actually. So we have this window, natural lighting, pretty good, which sort of aligns itself with the door, the wall here. And there are a few options that we have. So based on customer feedback, number one would be fitting room. So maybe we would look into it, and definitely we need a fitting room here because we are a walk-in closet concept, right? So definitely we really need a fitting room of sorts. Second thing that we would actually need is a content space. So a content space is meant for vendors as a platform where we can share with vendors for them to do their content. I'm thinking of making it into like a podcast kind of setup where there's a sofa and there's a coffee table and everything. So it's just us and the vendor or just the vendors themselves to do their marketing. It's just providing a space. So on top of a content space, we want it to be a live station. So again, we're gonna do a very chill podcast kind of thing because I think that's a lot more comfortable, which is just a sofa and then maybe just a clothes rack or just top three items that they're looking to sell for that day. Okay? So those are the options. And I think the most important thing that I really want to say, because I just got this idea right now, is we could actually integrate all three of those together. That's the thing, because the common thing is that we have over here when it comes to those three ideas is the space, right? This corner over here, which is pretty decent. I think it's about 2 meters by three, not three. I think it's not three, but yeah, you get the point. So definitely we could really fit one sofa, a two-seater sofa over here, maybe a small little coffee table if it's actually needed. And after that, then we could put a heavy curtain here for that to be used as a fitting room simultaneously, right? Um, yeah, that's that. And also, we need to get a blind for the window. If not, people can really see through, and that's really not good. All right. So thankfully I'm actually recording this one, documenting it down for myself as well. So number two would actually be vendor support. So in week two of DESA, yesterday especially, we took a lot more footage of the vendors. We recorded vendor features as well, using just a tripod and just my phone and this wireless walkie microphone, this wireless microphone, and edited it during the whole duration using CapCut, and turned out to be pretty decent. Lots of things still to be worked in terms of B-rolls and everything, but we did three vendor features for the three vendors that were still here. Lina Wellness, Ish Studio, as well as Feral Asia. So we did vendor features for them. And what's the question would be, what's the plan with the vendor features and when would be a good time for the vendor features actually? So I think like from my own perspective, the purpose of me doing those vendor features would be to get used to gathering all the vendors together and say like, hey, look, we are going to do a vendor feature. I just need you to follow this format. And the format is really like, okay, you got your introduction, you got your um, introduction to the business, what are you selling here, and just close it off with to follow you on your social media platforms. So that's it. It's as simple as that. Ideally, you want it to be 30 seconds or less. Reason why is so that I can do cross-platform posting. So our cross-platform posting will be Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So those three will be the main platforms moving forward for DESA. We're going to go super heavy on the marketing because we realize that okay, sales isn't the issue here. Sales is definitely not an issue because there is a demand for booth spots and slots. So it's easy to tend to it. However, the main issue would actually be food flow, not only for the vendors, but also for DESA, right? So we want to build our community, and this is the easiest way, which is an omnipresence kind of approach to marketing, social media marketing. And we are going to go up on all fronts for that. So vendor features is one of the anchor that we would really use in collaboration with the vendors. Now, on top of using it for our purposes, we will definitely use it for the vendors themselves. Like for the vendors, we say like, okay, you got these videos, just post them out on your social media platforms to gather your own marketing, to gather your own followers to really say like, hey, he or she is setting up booth. So maybe you should come down, right? So that's basically it. So vendor features went quite well. I think every video I did was like a 10-minute edit. It took 10 minutes to edit the videos. But that's great. And I did it all in 30 minutes while on top of managing some other administrative stuff, which is good. Last but not least would be actually the layout change I actually mentioned already in point number one, which is actually what are we going to do with this space. But yeah, those are the three main things that we are really going to look into moving forward. So again, just to recap, resource mapping, vendor support, and layout changes. We are going to go whack on a lot of these things, and do stay tuned because it's really just a learning journey right now for us in DESA. We are 2 weeks in, and it's been a crash course for a lot of things to improve. I think you can sort of see it in my eyes. I'm kind of stressed out and tired, but it's actually fun. I like thinking about all these kind of things. All right, see you.